time to break into the label, and then we'll hit the effects of the Methyl Blue. And just to kick this one off, if you notice, I'm in a different attire when I do the effects, or the label breakdown here than my effects, is because I started to record the effects. I'm not gonna lie to you. I flipped this bad boy over to start breaking down the label, and I saw these crazy names, and I just was me like, yeah, we're not doing this today. I'm gonna do some research, and I've talked to the owner and about these ingredients, so it's not like I'm blindly taking this. I kind of know what's in this, but they use a lot of like professional clinical science, big brain pronunciations. We've seen this before where people like call caffeine by its fancy name to kind of make it look even like more intimidating and scary, and that's kind of what they do here. And it's another reason why I was a little spooked out and I started taking this one at 4, which I'll break down in the effects. That's why I kind of started using this one at 4 caps instead. Before, I haven't really mentioned, I'm filming this in reverse order, and I wanted to kind of kick off. So this is from Gym and Tonic. It's a Methyl Blue. It's a nootropic / pre-workout pill. You can either stack it on a daily driver type pre, or you can stack it with some pumps. You can take it alone. I've seen a lot of recommendations taking a couple pills with a cup of coffee in the morning for a nootropic type vibe, like your off day or something. But before we kick off, so this is a Gym and Tonic product, and you've heard me bring these guys up a few times. And why? Because I freaking love this company. The owner's awesome. It's a third-party retailer. And one of the things about this owner that I've loved is being a small channel just starting out. You can kind of see like people like for who they really are, because they'll treat you differently. They find if you get big, like some of the big time reviewers, obviously, like, yeah, TJ from Fitness Deals News reaches out to someone, they're gonna like bend over backward for him. But the fact that like the owner, even like I think when I first met him, I had maybe 80 subscribers or something. I don't think he looked at my page. He just treated me like a human being, and he knew I did reviews. He knew I was really into fitness, and I think he liked my passion. And that's what attracted me to him, is because he didn't treat me nicely because I was a reviewer and I might talk about his products. He treated me nicely because I actually listened to him and I was passionate about products and finding products that really work. And so that's why I hit these guys. Some people might think I'm like on their fucking payroll or something because I mention Gym and Tonic all the time. But it's just a fact. It's a great company ran by an awesome person, and he treated me like a human being, not just like a marketing tool. And so to kind of support them, he sent me a Gym and Tonic hoodie. It's freaking badass. It's soft as heck. I know it's the winter, but maybe some of you guys like to wear hoodies at nights and stuff, or like get a good sweat going in the gym. But the size is too small for me. Haven't worn this thing before. I tried it on one time. It's a men's large, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, men's large, and it's a pretty form-fitting hoodie. So if you can like, comment, mentioning, just I'll pick someone below, just some sort of comment. It doesn't have to be anything. We're not going to play any specific game, but like or comment or something, and we'll figure out a way to get this shirt to you. Maybe you could help pick up the ship or something, and I can send you some samples with it as well. I can't imagine it'll be more than $5 or $6 for shipping. And I'll reach out to you in the comments. And if you want to do it, it's fine. If you're like, I'll pass, I'm sure there's someone out there that would pay $5 shipping for this hoodie, and I'll send them some samples as well to go along with the hoodie, and I'll make it well worth your while. We'll at least get like 4 or 5 samples in there to go with this of some hitter pre. No C4 bucked up bullshit. But anyway, so definitely, I'm gonna hang this thing up for the review. But one of the things that's really cool, if you ever go to their website, you literally feel like you're in a time machine, like going back to the 90s with the old school logo, the way the layout is designed of the website. It's freaking awesome. I'll put that there just to rep the company during this review. So let's hop into the label. And I'm not even gonna act like, sometimes you see people and you can tell they're reading off a big screen. I saw one for C4 for the new like Stim Bomb one or whatever. And the girl that did the review, obviously wearing like hardly nothing, is like completely reading off a note card. And I'm like, if I'm gonna read off something, I'm gonna fucking tell you guys and show you guys. I'm not gonna have like some big, like I could easily put a phone up somewhere over there or some piece of paper and read it. I'm going to be transparent. Like some of these things, I have no fucking clue how to pronounce it, what it says. And so I did some research and I saved it in my notes, and I'm just going to kind of go through it with you guys as we hit it. So number one, and this thing's long as fuck, so hold on here, but this is a badass product. So I want to make sure I hit all this. And it's an N-dimethylene, phenylene, like that. forgive me for the pronunciation. And some of these ones I wrote down their street names too, so I'll use those for the ones I have that for. And this is a benefits mood elevation, focus, energy, may help boost dopamine here. It's actually a similar structure to amphetamines here, hence the buzz around it. It's actually can possibly get tracked apparently can get tested by some drug sports and things like that for amphetamines. So, if you're a college athlete or something like that, be wary of some of these items. And that's the very first thing on the list here. So we got some potent stuff right at the back. And next one is, I'm just going to say the regular name for it if I have it, and that's PEA. And we have all heard PEA before. We've seen this in a lot of nootropics and stim junkie pre-workouts, mood benefits, mood elevation, stuff like that, etc. We all know that. And then the next one is N-dimethylene, and we've seen this one before. This is a stimulant. It's related to synephrine and benefits energy, focus, fat burning. It's another stimulant factor here. And then we got 1,3,7-trimethylpurine, and that's AKA caffeine. So then we got caffeine, good old-fashioned caffeine. And to be honest, I didn't even realize this one was in here. So this makes sense. The last time I took this, I did 7 pills on about a 400 milligram caffeine product, and it smacked pretty fucking hard. Like, I would suggest, if you say, now that I'm thinking about this, I took this with a pump product one time with 7 pills, and it brought enough juice to the table. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when I first took this thing, I thought it was all like mental nootropics. I didn't think there's any actual like physical energy items in this thing. So it makes sense why I was surprised that I had enough gas just going with a pump product. So if you want a really smooth, clean ride, you can stack this thing with a pump and you'll still get some caffeine. But even with that, it can't be all that much caffeine in here, because when I took it with like a 300 milligram caffeine product, it felt like very energetic but clean. I'm guessing around 100 to 120 maybe in the caffeine category here at the most. Because when I took this thing at 400 with a daily driver at 400 milligrams, it did have multiple phase caffeine. It was the jaxed up product. But anyway, so we'll keep moving here. So we got caffeine, and then we have 2-amino-5-methylphenylene. This is another form of DMHA, and this is a potent stimulant. We all know this one: energy, focus, mood, the good buzz, and that is the fifth ingredient on the list. So we know it's less than the caffeine content and the milligrams. So I'm guessing around 100-ish for the DMHA for this one. And this is all at the 6-pill dosage I'm going through here. I mean, it's a prop blend, so we don't really know the exact ingredients. But at 6 pills, I'm guessing around 100 to 120 kind of range is my hunch based upon it coming after caffeine. And then next we have tridroxyflavin, flavonoid, something like that. This is a plant compound, and it has antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, estrogen regulation, recovery, vascularity, health. Seems like it's more of a wellness product. It said like, something full of just something that's overall help your well-being and stuff like that. So that's nice. We got something like that in there, that all these crazy stimulants and things like that, and then we have something off to kind of help out just the overall health of our product here. And then we have dynamine, and I'm not even going to pronounce the funky name for it, but it's AKA dynamine. We've seen dynamine many times: mood elevation, energy, focus, all that provides all that stuff without hitting the blood pressure too hard. And then we have 1379 teotrimethyluric acid, aka teocrine. We've seen teocrine a bunch. I remember seeing that in Rain by GYMDAD Labs early on. It's another caffeine, similar to caffeine, but it's got a longer half-life, a little longer lasting, benefits mood, endurance, all that stuff. And then theobromine, another one coming in there. We've seen theobromine a bunch. This is the one that's found in the chocolates, make you happy, smooth energy, stuff like that. And I'm not even going to pronounce this very last compound. There's this compound at the very bottom that literally takes up the whole entire label almost. We got all sorts of numbers, letters. You'll see it up on the screen. But what we got going on here is a synthetic compound. It's known as a designer stimulant here. We've seen that term utilized in the Excelsior interview, if you watch that, and big time mood enhancer here. Let's see if there's anything else on this that help increase dopamine, adrenal pathways, And like we use with caution. This is a very potent ingredient here, and it comes in toward the end, so we don't really know the exact component breakdown. But this is like an MOA inhibitor, so it's going to help like um, block your body's ability to fight off that. Like so you take these products in your body, it's like it goes into fight or flight mode, and it's trying to like pump these out of your system. And so essentially, like I can't remember the two different types. There's two types. So when I was doing research on this, and this helps slow down that process, thus like increasing the euphoric. Because there's one that helps euphoria and like feel good and happiness, and there's one that's just straight raw energy. And this one hits both of those and slows both of those inhibitors down. And some big science brain's going to come in here and correct me, but I'm just telling you, just from a layman's perspective of what I've learned from doing this one. And I can tell you what the experience was like on this thing. But anyway, the way this works is that it helps block those, helps slow down the process of your body getting those out of your system, thus helping you stay more energized, more euphoric for a longer period of time, and delaying that breakdown. But that's the ingredient list for this one. Now let's hop into the effects. Now let's get into the effects of the Methyl Blue caps and how to kind of rank this one. So the Methyl Blue caps, like we did in the ingredient breakdown, we saw the per serving ingredient is 4, 5, and 6 caps. And what I got here, I've used this thing multiple times. I got about half a bottle worth of them right here in this packet. And I've used this thing various ways. I took it with a pump product with 4 caps. I used it with a daily driver with like 300 milligrams of caffeine, nothing else, on 4 caps. And then I did 4 caps with an Alpha Yo pre, and I've done 6 caps with a daily driver non-Alpha Yo once, and then an Alpha Yo pre once at 6 caps. So I've used this thing various times over the past like 2 months, I think, just kind of probably like once or twice a month. And I'll kind of break down my experience and what to expect with this one. So first off, the very first time I tried it, obviously it's a new animal. I've never used this Methyl Blue, this Breaking Bad style, lab made product. You got your Methyl Blue amphetamine rush. Like, it just looks a little spooky. And so I did 4 caps and a pump. And I was a little worried like it might not be enough, might not have enough get up and enough gas for me, but it was just enough. Like, I definitely wish I would have took the full 6 caps with the pump product that had no stimulants in it whatsoever, but it still had enough get up that I didn't feel like, I don't know if any of you crazy motherfucker stim junkies out there ever feel this way, but sometimes when you take a non-stim pre, you almost feel like a soldier without his body armor in that weight room. But you definitely still feel like you got some pretty badass armor on as you're lifting weights. You still got that confidence and swagger. It's just there's room for a lot more. And so the next time I ripped that thing, I took a very light daily driver pre. I want to say it had 250 caffeine, and I did the full 6. And this made it into like a top shelf, like smooth pre. I would say just a little bit of a word of warning that this one is not like a straight bottle rocket. It's not going to have you shot to the clouds. You're not going to be like feeling like you're like on the edge of like too much, or like you're not going to feel like you're cracked out. Like, if you're one of those individuals that wants to feel like you're like literally like on some sort of like drug when you're lifting, this is not the product for you. Like this pre, even at the full 6 caps, I thought I might be able to, that's the only buzzkill with this one, is like, okay, maybe you buy the bottle or whatever, and you can get away stacking it with like just 4 caps on like a stim daily driver. But I think that you go ahead and take that full 6, and it's just a very smooth, very euphoric experience. But it's like almost feels like I hate that I see this term used a lot, but like when we say like a daily driver style like experience, I think what we're trying to articulate is that the experience it's euphoric. You get a buzz, but at the same time, you're not like so bottle rocket up to the sky that you feel like unhealthy. There's no crash. There's no like shakiness. There's no jitteriness to it. It's just extremely euphoric, extremely smooth, clean. It kind of makes you question like what the heck like you're even utilizing. Like, you definitely feel it's something more than your daily driver, but you're like, how is this thing like this clean feeling? This felt more smooth than the Euphoria pills by Dark Labs. Those, to me, those were euphoric, but they had a little bit of dirtiness edge to them, and a little bit of kind of like almost like fried feeling to them. Like, you feel like, I remember stacking those Euphoria pills with like a Panda pre, and even then it kind of had like a little bit of grit to it, a little bit of little bit of grime and grease to it. Like this one just, it feels like so like a, you know, like this smooth, like a this remix everything does a car comparison a lot, and it's like, you know, just a nice purring engine with this thing. Like you just feel very like clean, healthy. It doesn't feel like you're just like, you know, all stemmed up. And even like when I ran this thing with an Alpha Yo, I used it with OMMI Energy right here. I stacked it with this one, and still, even with this Alpha Yo, it paired very nice. I'd probably say like this was the best hitter with it. But then today I trained legs on it, and I stacked it with the Jaxed Up pre-workout, and oh boy, that was one of the cleanest, smoothest experiences I've ever had. If you want something that's like euphoric, but yet like not like over the top, not like to the bottle rocket to the cloud, not like cracked out, I would suggest something like more along that lines. You got multiple phase caffeine paired with this Methyl Blue. And if you want something more like stim junky, like slap, you stack it with like an Alpha Yo type product. But all in all, like I had no issue stacking this with I actually recommend stacking this thing with like a caffeine product. Just no need to go over like 400 caffeine. Even at 400 on the GYMDAD supplements today, it was definitely on the edge. Like I felt like I wanted no more, but at the same time, I don't think I really needed no less. And yeah, all in all, how I would rate this thing was 6 caps on a like a daily driver. It literally makes like a C plus experience at a top shelf pre workout. Like you take like, it was Rich Piana's 5% nutrition. It's just the one just called pre. I want to say there's like 300 milligrams of caffeine, some pump products, and that's it. Like it's a very basic pre. It literally takes like a basic ass flat C pre workout and makes that thing an 8 or an A minus. Like this thing is like, if you're one of those Euphoria fans out there that are looking for a cap that kind of replace Euphoria pills, definitely get Methyl Blue. Just be aware that it's not a slapper. It's not like a straight buzzing bottle rocket to the sky. It's going to be it's going to be euphoric. It's going to be clean, but it's not going to just slap you silly, get you so damn stemmed up that you're like, you feel like you're like, it's not like, it's a fitness product. I feel like this does feel like a pre-workout product. This doesn't feel like a OG Excelsior type experience where like you're just buzzing out of your mind and be like, oh crap, I need to actually lift. And I'm not just here to like feel crazy happy and floaty and bubble like you want to train on this thing. This is a training product. And all in all, Methyl Blue, huge freaking fan of this one. I never did try it this way, but I know Wesley at Gym and Tonics mentioned that he takes a couple of these in the morning with coffee if you want to use this like as a nootropic. And freaking love this thing. I know I've done a few Gym and Tonic products, but I like to support companies that the owners I feel like they believe in me. You know, I always make this analogy, like you see the picture of Steph Curry shooting a 3 and one of his teammates celebrating before the shot's even gone in. And with being a small channel, I kind of have the ability to see people's true characters early on. If you're interested in Methyl Blue, check out Gym and Tonic. Use the code GYMDAD, save you some cash. He's got all sorts of interesting stuff. There's some fat burners on there that I'm sure you've never seen around. You probably didn't even know they still existed in 2025. Some products he's got on there. Peptides too, man. If you're big in the peptides, it's worth it. Like his prices are probably 10 to 15% higher than some of these Facebook mass marketing places when it comes to those research S type products. But you got to pay the quality. Like BP157, absolutely thought that stuff was bunk. I bought like nasal spray from like Swole AF or something like that, and I thought it was shit. Like I felt nothing. And then I utilized his muscle gels, and all of a sudden I'm a firm believer in the BP157. So if you're ever looking at any of those like muscle builder type products, those kind of gimmicky products that you're not really quite sure on, it's like you might as well pay the 10 to 50% extra and get yourself the good quality. So definitely check out Methyl Blue and some of the other products on Gym and Tonic. But GYMDAD Fitness, like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one, man. We'll try to bring some more hitters for you. Try to get some variation other than the pre-workouts, some more types of interesting niche style stuff like this.